friends, Bill Wheeler here at Wheelhouse Garage with the Biltwell 100 race just 1 week away. I'm putting together my kit with all the tools and repair items that I'm going to be carrying with me during the race. Now, honestly, I pretty much carry this stuff all the time when I'm riding in the woods alone or with my friends. So while there are some specifics in here that are just for vintage Triumphs or maybe just for this race, the concepts are universal. So it's taken me years really to put this together to where it's just the right amount of stuff. So hopefully I can share that knowledge with you and it'll help you pack your bag as well. All right, let's get into it. All right, here's all the goodies. I'm gonna go through each item really briefly, just talk about why they're here. But before that, quick shout out to my dad for taking me on awesome dirt biking adventures as a kid, which allowed me to put this all together from firsthand experience. Okay, I got a challenge for you too. How much do you think all this stuff weighs, including the pack with 100 ounces of water in it? In other words, how much extra weight am I gonna carry for this race? Let me know in the comments. At the end, I'll weigh it all. No cheating. Okay, so all of this stuff is gonna be carried in my backpack here, and then the heavy tools are gonna go in this awesome Red Clouds Collective tool roll, which will be mounted on my handlebars. It'll be super nice to get that weight off of my back. The pack I'm gonna be carrying is a Kriega R15, that means 15 liters. It's got a 100-ounce hydration pack in it. It's made for motorcycle use, so these straps are perfectly engineered to keep the pack from flying around. I do run a Spot too. I'll put a link in the description if you don't know what that is, so you can do some research on that. Okay, so in the Red Clouds Collective tool roll, I have all the Whitworth wrenches I might need, tire irons, and a crescent wrench for the axle nuts and any other nuts that I might need to take care of. Okay, 19-inch tube. I can run this front or rear, even though the rear's an 18. If you want more info on that, check out my video on how to change tubes trail side. Fuel hose, in case I need that. Master link, in case I snap a chain. Extra throttle cable. So that's a no-go situation. Your throttle cable breaks, you're stuck. So I want to carry a spare of those. This is a random assortment of Whitworth hardware. This is an important one. Baby wipes. If you need me to explain that to you, I don't know what to tell you. Hose clamps, because hose clamps can always come in use. Safety wire for securing things that need to be secured. I always carry some wire. I think there's only actually one wire on this bike for the kill switch, but it's good to have. This is electrical tape. This is the cloth kind. Rag, because you gotta have a rag. Tube repair, just in case I need to throw it to somebody else who didn't bring a tube. This is how I like to fill tubes with CO2 cartridges and this little adapter that goes on the valve stem. Simple, easy. This is another great tool for changing a tube and it weighs almost nothing, so it's good to have. This stuff is really cool. This is MSR metal putty. If I get a small hole in the case or something, or I need to do a metal repair, you take this stuff out, you knead it in your fingers, it gets warm and you stick it on. I also have a bit of 400 grit sandpaper here, so I can do a little bit of surface prep, which helps this stuff adhere to metal better. Gloves, because they're just good to have. Keep yourself clean. Oh, here's a tire gauge too for setting the pressure right once you're done changing the tube. Spark plugs, got a pair of Champion plugs for this Triumph here, and also a plug wrench. This little extra set of AAA batteries is for my Spot unit. This is Motion Pro Nitro tape. Now, I've used this to repair radiator hoses on modern water-cooled bikes, but this basically tape is for anything oily or wet that you need to secure. I've got old oil lines on this Triumph, so if those decide to fail in a spot, I can wrap this around it and keep riding. Some first aid stuff. I don't do fancy first aid. I basically just rob this stuff from my wife's first aid kit, sterile gauze, antibiotic ointment, and then this aluminized rescue blanket. If I need to tape this up, I have electrical tape for that. This is a no-go, almost a no-go situation too. If you snap a lever or a perch, it can make for a not a fun time. So I'm carrying a spare Doherty levers, couple of screwdrivers, obviously a Phillips and a flathead, and then this little one I like to carry for carb work. Lighter, start a fire if you can't too. I like to carry some cash too. If you can't buy anything with it, you can use it as kindling. Tow strap. Nothing fancy here, just a 25-foot piece of webbing that has come in handy more than once. Got a little FMF poncho here, which I think was a gift at some event I went to. These are rad. Even though these are metric, I'm still gonna carry them just because they're so cool. This is Motion Pro's titanium wrench kit, and Chris Carter was nice enough to write me a nice note. Knife, because you gotta have a knife. Pliers, because you gotta have pliers. Needle nose, because sometimes stuff is tiny. I always carry flagging with me because it might come in use for something. Zip ties, because duh. And then obviously expired Cliff Bar and expired 5-hour energy in case I'm desperate and need a bit of energy. That's what I'm planning on carrying. Of course, 100 ounces of water on top of that. And that's my plan. That's all I got. If anything else outside of this breaks, I guess I'm not finishing the race. All right, time to weigh this thing. I got the water bag full. Let's put this bucket on, zero it out, see what we got. All right, I double checked to make sure everything's resting on the scale, and it is, and we're at 24 pounds, 0.8 ounces. Oh boy, I better not eat too much this week. All right, feels good to get that done. One step closer to race day. Thank you so much for watching this week. Week from today is race day, so keep your eye out for YouTube shorts. I'll be filming what's going on in real time, and of course I'll take a bunch of footage and make a video for the race. Stoked people, thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Cheers.